Today, I'd like to talk about something a little bit sensitive. It could shake the foundation of faith, the foundation of a people's beginning and culture. This has to do with how certain cultures raped, destroyed a whole civilization. So, to give context, most African countries practice what was given to them or forced upon them by the colonials. And in the wake of such rape, their own indigenous cultures were destroyed completely. And then people ask, why is Africa so backward? Why does it not develop despite all the money that have been pumped in it and all the development programs, yet it's still the way it is? Could it be that we lack the intellectual capacity to develop ourselves or to make use of what help that have been provided to us? Why have we remained this way? And this could be the defining reason why we have been the way we are. A people united by a common belief grow and evolve in those beliefs. And as they grow and evolve, they generate new ideas from those beliefs. There is a root, and that root will continue to grow and develop and bear fruits from those branches. And therein lies the soul of such communities. Therein lies the soul of such group of people. The moment you move away from that origin, from that root, you lose your point. And that's what happened. Most Africans were in kingdoms, small groups, communities, living in peace and harmony, and practiced their culture and their indigenous religions. The moment the colonials came, it stopped. And those cultures never grew, they never developed, they never evolved to what they should be. They were caged in such embryonic stage till this date. Another culture was grafted on us, which we do not know the origin, where it came from. Our soul lies not in there. And that's why we're not developing, because the roots have been taken out. All we see now is people trying to water the leaves, but doesn't go down to the roots. And what doesn't go down to the roots can only make the leaf shine for a moment. The time will pass when the water dries up. But if the water gets down to the roots, it will spring up more new roots, more new branches and new leaves, and will blossom with flowers. But what we see is like having a flower in your sitting room and then you just pour water on it to keep it alive for a moment. Just for the moment. And that's why People keep pumping in money into African countries without any impact because it doesn't go down to the root. The root has been taken out, the root has been caged without developing. All African cultures are still held at the embryonic stage. That's where the soul lies. Nobody grows beyond its origin. Without the origin evolving to develop new ideas. If Africans stayed on with their culture, the culture which we Africans also term as barbaric, archaic, God-forsaken, those cultures would have also evolved. Realize that some of the cultures that we also practice now were at one time barbaric, God-forsaken, terrific, and horrible. But they evolved to what we love and cherish and call develop and advance now. Meanwhile, African cultures, African religions would also have been advanced, developed, if it had been let to develop, if it wasn't raped and destroyed and have another culture grafted and planted on it, on the people, without knowing where it came from. I'm speaking to the destruction of the colonials and the looting of all the antiques. These were artifacts that tells the story of a people, the history, the annals of the people, the events sculptured into artifacts, arranged as a calendar, as a diary where people can make reference to. All these were destroyed and stolen and archived in places called museums for people to pay and come and look at them and marvel and cherish them. But those are the umbilicals of a people cut short of developing. How can this be rectified? It's destroyed forever. And that's why it's very difficult for Africans to grow. It sounds so bleak, so gloomy, but this is a deep truth that many people will continually refuse to accept. How do I know it? It's lying there plain in sight, but we choose not to look at it. We choose not to recognize it. Even when you bring back all the stolen loots in the museum back to the kingdoms where they rightly belong, who are the people that can actually arrange them and resurrect this culture for them to be practiced the way it ought to be? Only a handful of these people are around, and then these people only know just as much as their own unique cultures. Not for all cultures in all the African kingdoms, because each kingdom, each group have their own unique culture, of which if left to thrive, they will advance and develop and evolve and generate novel ideas. And the people will grow and advance and would not rely on aid and help from other foreign, and will become an object of mockery to the wider society. You took our tools, the tools we ought to have used to develop, as your loots. Our tools are your roots.